Until a couple of days ago, I was making one giant mistake that was costing me a lot when it comes to my manifestation journey. Right now, as most of the guys on self-mastery, just like I am, on self-improvement, if you wish, are still stuck in school, right? And that's our number one objective. Make money so that we can get out of there. And of course, we're gonna make the money. In fact, we already do have it. If you know it, if you know, you know. But basically, what I'm trying to say is that the only way that a man can receive something is if he gets it first from heaven. Now, heaven isn't some kind of a physical place in the sky. No, that's the exoteric meaning of it that the 99% of people believe, but they will never succeed. And the reason why is because they externalized their own power. Because back in, like, I don't know, when Christianity really became popular, and like priests, the popes, and all of these other big guys started to be rich, the peasants came up to them and they asked them stuff like, "How come you're rich and we're still poor down here?" And they, because they didn't want to internalize their power of the true esoteric meaning of heaven, they told them something like, "Oh, don't worry, this is just a huge life test, and after you die, you'll get rewarded with it in heaven by being rich. Don't worry, all of your problems will disappear the moment that you die." And what this actually meant, esoterically, you see, heaven isn't a physical location in the sky with God as a some kind of a personality sitting on a throne. That's not how this works. God is an impersonal energy that you use to materialize anything in your reality. He's the infinite, most highest vibratory emotional energy, but he's impersonal. He's like electricity. You can use him to your own advantage or to your disadvantage. He's the power that dwells inside of you. He's the one that always gives you answers. And heaven refers to the state of mind where you feel completely calm and serene. You feel joyful, you feel happy, you feel loved, you feel all of these positive emotions. And when you feel all of these, then God will happily give you whatever you want. And the same applies the other way around. When you feel low level emotions like mad, like being mad, being angry, being envious, being apathetic, being, I don't know, fearful, being worried, and all of these emotions that don't serve you anything, God will give you more of that also, because remember, He's impersonal. He doesn't care if you're a nice person or a bad person. Your subconscious mind is the birth womb of your reality, and the only way that some idea can become a truth in there, which will later get realized in your reality, is if it has a strong emotional charge. And based on that charge that you give that idea, that literally fixates itself in your subconscious mind, that idea will get repeated so that you feel that emotion over and over again. Because the universe will only want to give you what you give it to it. Meaning that you have the control over what happens in your life. And even if you do shift internally to a degree to which you are no longer emotionally dependent upon seeing reality change, you'll you'll still see not not any progress, just basically zero progress for like weeks on end, because you need to remember you've been outputting so much of this uh, low vibratory emotions that now your life just looks like this. So that's why you are taking it slow right now. You're shifting your universe slowly, and the universe is testing you right now to see if you're actually about it or not. And this, all of this brings me back to my first point. You see, when I shifted my beliefs, my thoughts, my identity about myself, my attention, my emotions, and all of these things that make up your mental attitude that eventually changes your entire the entire way that you view yourself and the way that your reality looks like into the best possible version of myself that I can become in this life. I started to have a dilemma. Whenever it comes to school and whenever they keep me there for like 7 hours straight, so I cannot be truly productive. with my daily habits, should I view it as something disrespectful? Of course, I wouldn't accept it as that kind of a truth. Like of course, I want more of this universe. No, no, no. I would accept this as something like, I'm high status now. I have all the time in the world. Why do I still have to spend time in here? And so I used to do this for like a whole week. I used to be so aggressive in my thoughts when it comes to school. I would basically view it as something less, if that makes sense. Of course, I would still take valuable life lessons from them because I'm a timeless reader on self mastery after all. I would still observe my classmates, my surroundings, and take notes of them and have beautiful realizations about my day to day life that I wrote down the instant that I remembered them. But still, I just thought that this was the way. But the thing about the universe is that whatever you put in there, the universe will make sure that you emotionally repeat the feeling, that you give back the feeling that you've gave it for the first time and you repeat it over and over again. That's just how it works. Whatever emotion you output into the universe take will then create the perfect surroundings. It will get the perfect people. It will get the perfect timings. It will create the perfect circumstances just so that it can harness that emotion of anger out of you so that you can feel it once again. Because there's now a spiritual entity that is now on the spiritual realm that is doing all of this and trying to get an emotional reaction out of you so that it can continue existing. And yeah, that's what I didn't realize. And later, I was reading this book. It's called, uh, it's like a really long book, and I don't remember the author's name, but yeah, it's it's basically from like the very early 20th century, and the author goes into great lengths about how we should like live our lives according to God. It's a very esoteric book, but it doesn't truly state like quotes from the Bible or stuff like that. But yeah, he goes into great depths on how every single Christian should live his life, and I truly resonate with that. And literally on the same day as I was after this whole week of just being in this negative cycle, trying to solve this dilemma for the last time, I literally read that chapter, and wouldn't you know it, right there, it was written that, like Jesus said, whoever lives by the sword dies by the sword. And in that moment, all of it fucking clicked. Of course, you must stop fighting fire with fire. You must use water. Seek ye first the kingdom of heaven, and righteousness, and all of these things shall be added unto you. Heaven refers to a mental state of mind where you're calm, serene, happy, loved, joyful, and yeah, where you can comfortable when you can comfortably live with all of these feelings as if you already had the dreamed reality that you so desire. Because the universe will then give it to you. It doesn't care about how much other people respect you or how high your self-opinion is. Before you don't give yourself that high self-opinion, the universe won't give it to you. If you can't control the way that you view yourself or your emotions, then why should the universe listen to you? That's a bar. Write that down. You need to first take over yourself. You need to take over your emotions. Of course, I got this in the back because the moment that I realized this, my entire mental attitude changed, and I've been merciful, I've been kind to the education system, I've been lovely, I've been patient, I've been unresentful, I've been uh, basically I stopped thinking about resigning from the education system as a whole, and I'm now liberated. Of course, that doesn't mean that that I'm not gonna leave the education system. I mean, I have greater ambitions, and there are of course more important things in life than learning math for 45 minutes straight, when I can easily make like 10 grand from trading in just that 1 hour long period. That's something that you should let marinate inside of your head. And I know I'm gonna become that because it's just inevitable. I've already became emotionally I've no longer became emotionally dependent upon seeing big numbers change. So it's just a matter of time because until it comes to my life. But the point being is that you need to you need to finally stop viewing everything in the negative sense of light and finally start viewing everything in the positive sense of light, in the heavenly attitude. Because when you act from these low vibratory emotions of anger, apathy, envy, guilt, and all of these low level emotions, fear, worry, all of these will lock you in our third dimension, in the realm of effect. And like we already said, your entire reality came from your subconscious mind. You don't view your reality through your eyes, but through your mental attitude, aka your frequency, if you wish. So, wouldn't it make sense to go and change the cause instead of changing an effect by changing an effect? Of course, it would make sense. So, that's why you need to feel that heavenly state of mind. You need to follow the 10 holy commandments. And I know it may sound cringe, but those are exactly the things that if you pair them with those high level emotions, they will truly make sense. And if you just stay patient with them for a little while, you will truly do wonders for yourself. Like, for example, I know that one of the 10 holy commandments is that you shouldn't kill. But you shouldn't kill doesn't mean like literally murder someone. It also means that you should not hate anyone anymore. Also, there's another one. For example, I am your God. You don't have any God besides me. That's literally the first one. That doesn't just refer to like religions and stuff like that. It also refers that the only thing that you should ever worship is the most high frequency because God is the highest level of consciousness. See this graph right here? He is literally on top of all of this. He's literally even higher than Jesus Christ. That's why Jesus called him his father. Because whatever has a stronger frequency than you will become its slave. But like that bad girl in school, she doesn't respect you because she has a higher frequency than you. Let that marinate. School won't let you leave because you have a lower frequency than it. Write that fucking down. And until you don't start being merciful, kind to your surroundings, start to love it, and start to not fight it anymore, but understand it. And when you start to live, like, can you just see the esoteric meanings now? You must go against the majority and start living like the priests and the elites have been using all of this esoteric knowledge to their advantage. You cannot fight fire with fire. You must use water and cold water. Okay? So this is how you do it, my timeless reader. You don't you don't fight anger with anger. You just slowly add that cold water on it, referring to your new frequency, your new mental attitude, and then eventually as time goes on, it changes. And you finally solve it. And then, before you even know it, and it will hit you like a fucking truck, you will literally be the best possible version of yourself that you can become in this life. Because the universe will only magnify whatever you feel. And so, if you feel this way, at peace, as if you already had it, your dreamed reality, then you will have it after a couple of weeks or months. It's just inevitable. That's literally just how manifestation and materialization works. Okay? So only approach every kind of situation in your life with the heavenly state of mind. Don't hate anyone, don't judge anyone, don't, just basically don't resent anyone, and instead try to understand them, try to love them. Like, of course, follow your inner intuition, so don't do it like physically, like don't actually love them if they're like stabbing you or something, but just don't judge them, mentally, and instead learn to love them and understand them. So that's about it. If you want to learn about healthy mindsets that will guarantee success in the long term and in the short term by mending your mental health and bringing you on the right path, no matter what, no matter the life test, no matter the goal, then I highly suggest that you go check out Timeless Reader's Mindset in the description. It is truly something life-changing, and you would be an absolute fool to miss out, especially with the discounts that is happening over there right now. And with that being said, thank you very much for watching this video, and remember, no one is better at being you